Welcome to the Hear Me, See Me 2021 Equity Summit in Missouri Higher Education Summit. My name is Tracy Westmoreland, and I'm a policy analyst here at Dude. And I have the pleasure of being the moderator for this presentation by Dr. Anthony Parker-Gills. Just some basic stuff before we get started. Please stay muted. Please use your camera because we want to see your faces and it helps with engagement. Presentations are going to be live, so please bear with any technical difficulties. Feel free to use the chat to ask questions. If you enter a session and decide it's not for you, please choose a different session, just like you would at an in-person conference. All sessions will be recorded, so you can access them after the summit. And please don't forget to engage with us on our social media using Equity 2021 at MoDude at our new conference website. And that's all I got. I'm going to hand it over to Anthony Parker-Gills.
Thank you, Tracy, for the introduction. I'm going to get ready to share my screen. All right, you all can see my screen, right? Everything looks good. Switch it. Okay, all right. And you all can still see my screen, everything's good? Okay, cool, all right, because it just switched up on me. All right, good morning. Once again, my name is Dr. Anthony Parker-Gills. I am the director of the McNair Scholars Program at St. Louis University. And the title of my presentation this morning is Enhancing Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in Graduate School through the McNair Scholars Program. I'm going to start off with a outline in regard to this presentation. So first, I want to start off with an overview of our program, really highlighting some different key components of our program and how we have been able to have a lot of the success we have had over these past 4 years. Then I'm going to go into some of those highlights a little bit more in depth to talk about some of our different successes, initiatives, and things like that. Then I'm going to turn it over to one of our McNair alums so you can hear from him and about his experience. I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Introduction. So funded by the U.S. Department of Education, the McNair Scholars Program is a TRIO program designed to prepare first-generation Pell eligible and unrepresented students for graduate study. The primary objective of this program is to increase the number of PhD recipients among these populations. So this is our main target population, main objectives and goals in regards to the McNair Scholars Program. And to give you all a little more information about the McNair Scholars Program on SLU's campus, it actually relaunched fall 2017, and then that's when I began in the program. The institution had the program back in 2012, and it then lost the grant and didn't have it for those 5 years, but rewrote for it and got it in 2017. And that's when I came on, and also too, the McNair Scholars Program services 25 scholars annually. To give you all a little more information about Dr. McNair himself, came from humble beginnings. He's an MIT trained physicist. He's actually the second African-American NASA astronaut to go to space, which is really, really amazing. He earned his PhD in laser physics from MIT at the young age of 26. Unfortunately, he had died tragically along with 6 other crew members aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986. And then shortly after his death, that's when members of Congress provided funding for the McNair Scholars Program. So the McNair Scholars Program now has been around for 30 plus years now, late 80s up until now, and has been thriving overall in general. To give you all a little more information about our McNair Scholars Program at SLU, we have a staff of 4, myself, our academic coordinator, Marissa Williams-Winfield, our graduate assistant, Sunita Manu, and our graduate intern, Shanice Davis. None of this stuff would be possible without any of our staff, dedicated staff, faculty mentors, partner institutions, and all of that good stuff. But this is the team who, for sure, makes a lot of this good stuff happen. Now I'm going to go into some of our main core components of our program. And these are the, we have a lot of other components of our program too as well, but these ones are, these 6 components are the reason why we have really been able to send a good amount of students on to graduate school. But we offer academic advising and counseling, individualized academic advising and counseling to each one of our scholars. Each one of our scholars has a scholar educational plan, which is individualized to them, which is really, really beneficial and has really assisted our students throughout their undergraduate studies and as they matriculate on to graduate school. We offer a lot of different workshops and seminars, and we really put a lot of emphasis on developing our scholars holistically. So we have a lot of academic workshops, like workshops on the grad school application process, creating a CV, personal statement, GRE prep, and research, and all of those different kind of things. But we also, too, have a lot of workshops on identity in the academy, on self-care, on financial literacy, leadership development, all of those different kind of areas of things to really develop our scholars holistically. Each one of our scholars is matched with a faculty mentor. Faculty mentoring is a really, really huge component of our program, and one of the reasons why we have had a lot of success with our students participating in undergraduate research and then being able to matriculate on to graduate school at top research institutions because of their relationships with their faculty mentors, and then participating in our summer research internship. So we have an annual summer research internship that takes place during the months of June and July each year. For the first 2 years of this grant cycle, it took place in person. And these past 2 years, because of COVID, it took place virtually. But during the summer, each one of our scholars is doing individualized research with their faculty mentors. They have to write proposals to participate in our summer research internship. So their proposal is basically, really kind of an in-depth outline of their research project. So they work on their project throughout the summer. They attend weekly professional development workshops and seminars, GRE prep, culture activities, graduate school visits, a lot of different kind of things that we really pack into those 8 weeks. And it's a really intensive experience, but really, really good. And it's a paid experience too as well. For the second year in a row, so this upcoming summer and 22 and this past summer, because of us working with our partners at the U.S. Department of Education, we've been able to increase our scholars stipend from $2,800 originally to $5,000. So our scholars this summer that will participate in our internship will receive $5,000 stipend, sponsor summer housing, also to $800 in meals, and a lot much more. Research presentations, that's another big component of our program. We attend a lot of conferences throughout the country. Each year, our scholars get to present at different conferences to put their research out there, to develop in those different kind of areas. And then also to travel to graduate schools and fairs is really, really huge. And it really, really exposes our students to the different options that they may have out there, schools that they did not think about. We have done so far right now, as far as group graduate school visits, around 8, and scholars have done individual grad school visits too as well. Eligibility requirements. So in order to participate in the McNair Scholars Program at SLU, priority consideration is given to individuals that have a 3.0 GPA or higher. And then also, too, unlike a lot of McNair programs across the country, our program is actually open to students that attend institutions throughout the St. Louis metropolitan region, including Harris-Stowe State University, Fontbonne, UMSL, WashU, and Webster. Also, too, in order to participate in the program, you have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You have to have 30 credit hours and be a full-time student. First gen and have financial needs. So 2/3 of our population, so we can serve 25 students each year. So 2/3 of 17 must be both first gen and low socioeconomic. And then the remaining 8 can be members of a group that's unrepresented in graduate education. So that's the U.S. Department of Ed classifies that mainly based off of race. So looking at some different examples: American Indian, Alaskan Native, Black, non-Hispanic, African American, Hispanic, or Latino, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander. And also, too, for sure, have to be interested in graduate study leading to a PhD. To go a little bit more in depth about our partnering institutions, just like I was mentioning, how we wrote our grant, we're able to serve students beyond the host institution, which is SLU, and that has really been a big and huge benefit for us. So once again, our partner institutions is Harris-Stowe State University, HBCU, WashU, Webster University, Fontbonne, and UMSL. And our biggest partnerships over these past 4 years have been from Harris-Stowe and WashU. We have had students in the program from Webster and Fontbonne. We haven't had any students in the program yet from UMSL, but we plan on changing that this during our 5th year. But because of these partnering with these institutions, we have really been able to benefit a lot from that. And it's also too, it goes a little bit beyond just our partner institutions. Within those institutions, we have partnering programs where we recruit our students and stuff from. So in regards of Fontbonne University, we partner with their Multicultural Affairs Office. In regards to WashU, we partner with their TRIO Student Support Services, UMSU, their Division of Student Academic Support Services, Webster Multicultural Center, Harris-Stowe, their Biology Club, and then also to their Student Support Services program. Here at SLU, we partner with a lot of different programs, but mainly our Student Opportunity for Achievement and Resources program, SOAR, which was previously our Student Support Services program. And then at WashU too as well, we partner with their DNAB Sustaining Talented and Academically Recognized Students, their DNAB STARS program. And it's because of, you said, these partner institutions and these partnering programs, just because of, their support and them providing access to their scholars, why we have been able to have a lot of success. So because of our partner institutions, and then also to those main 6 components that I was just recently going over is a lot of the reason why we have had a lot of our success. And now I'm going to go and transition briefly to talk about a little bit of our highlights over these past few years. I have some different infographics that I'm going to show you all. You all can still see my screen, right? Everything's still good. All right. Hopefully you all can see this really, really well. On my end, I can see it good. But this is a infographic that we had created recently. But 93% of our McNair graduates since 2019. So we started the program in 2017. We started recruiting. So this was fall 2017. We started recruiting and got our first scholars in the program in 2018. And we had our first graduating class in 2019. And we just had our 3rd graduating cohort just recently graduate. But so taking our last 3 cohorts, 93% of our graduates have earned a 3.0 GPA or above. Also, 54% of our graduates have graduated with university honors. So that's a 3.5 GPA to a 4.0 GPA. And then breaking that down even more, 29% of our scholars has finished cum laude. So that's 3.5 to 3.7 GPA. And then 25%, so a quarter, have finished magna cum laude, and that's 3.8 to 3.9. And we are really, really proud of our scholars for being really, really on it and, passionate about their academics. So this is really, really huge. Also, too, due to a lot of the, successful collaborations with our partner institutions, faculty, mentors, our scholars have earned over $2.2 million in graduate school funding since 2019, which is another huge benefit too as well. And it's because of a combination of, our dedicated staff, partner institutions, faculty, mentors, the McNair community as a whole, on why we have been able to have a lot of this success. To go a little bit more in depth to talk about research, our McNair scholars have presented their research at conferences and symposiums over 50 times. Since 2018, which is really huge. We really support them and going to conferences. We take them to a lot of conferences and things like that. Also, too, in regards to access, we know that graduate school can be expensive, even just trying to apply and get in. So we offer graduate school fee waivers and GRE fee waivers for our scholars. We have given over 100 of them since 2018. And then we know STEM is a really big component right now in higher education and our workforce. We don't see a lot of first-gen and low socioeconomic unrepresented individuals in the STEM fields. But we are proud that over 50% of our McNair alums are currently enrolled in a STEM graduate program. And our alum that you'll hear from now is in one of those programs. And right here at the bottom, once again, we're just representing our partner institutions. And then lastly, I just want to show you one more infographic before transition over to our student speaker. Right here is just another infographic that we created just to kind of highlight some of the institutions that our scholars have matriculated onto in these past three graduating cohorts. So we have some scholars. We actually have two scholars that just recently graduated from University of Chicago, Boston University, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. We have some students that matriculated on to SLU, so even within our consortium. Northwestern, UC Berkeley, WashU, also too within our consortium. University of Miami, University of Minnesota, University of California, San Diego, UIC, Webster, also within our consortium, University of Michigan, and Columbia University. And for some of these institutions, we have multiple scholars at those institutions too as well. Now I'm going to transition back to my PowerPoint to turn it over to Wesley A.G., our student speaker, to talk about his experience in the McNair Scholars Program, transition into graduate school, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to turn it over to you now, Wesley.
Well, thank you for having me, Anthony, and thank you to you all in attendance. And so my experience with the McNair Scholars Program initially started in the spring of 2018. During that time, I was serving as the president of Harris-Stowe State University's biology club. And so at that time, I was being heavily recruited by the McNair Scholars Program, as were a lot of my peers. And they had a keen interest in helping promote diversity through the St. Louis region, and were particularly committed to Harris-Stowe State University. And so this is large, as Harris-Stowe State University is the largest graduator of biology, Black biology students in Missouri. And so, I know a lot of universities and a lot of institutions, claim to be committed to diversity and committed to diversifying the workforce. And I think it's programs like McNair or like the LSAMP program statewide, specifically LSAMP in Missouri, who drive this diversity and act as a kind of consortium for different institutions to be able to recruit students and find capable students who have been fostered in this kind of conducive environment to be able to succeed at the graduate level. Because as first gen students, it's hard to be able to make that transition and matriculate. For myself in particular, Harris-Stowe, we didn't have a graduate program. And so a lot of the focus wasn't on matriculation as it was, successfully completing that undergraduate career. So when it came time for application season, when applying to graduate schools, I didn't have, the resources that other students may have, or the backing, or the knowledge that other students may have. So as a post-baccalaureate prep program, McNair was able to afford me those resources, afford me mentorship, so I can have, letters of recommendation, have research experience. My CV, and compared to a lot of other students' CV leaving undergrad, was pretty impressive. I was able to present at about 8 conferences. McNair afforded me the opportunity to present at regional conferences for McNair, national conferences for McNair, as well as national conferences such as AberCamps, which is the largest conference for Black minorities in general in regards to STEM research. And so AberCamps, I think the year I went, it was like 5,000 attendees, 2,500 undergrads there presenting research, which is huge. And McNair afforded me that opportunity to be able to attend and supported me. And, there's a huge graduate fair there. And I was able to talk to a lot of admissions directors, make a lot of connections that, I was able to keep and maintain over the next year while I applied to graduate institutions. McNair really did great by me and promoting, my development inside, outside the classroom. I think Anthony, invested a lot of time outside of, his role within McNair and, providing us mentorship and guidance through our graduate career, our undergraduate and now graduate career. I remember as an undergrad, I think for MLK Day, Anthony took me down to SEMO, where we heard Mark Lamont Hill come and speak for MLK Day. And, we had a real intimate setting with him and myself and like 20 other students. But it was powerful to see, a gentleman like Mark Lamont Hill, who's, has a successful career inside and outside of research. And, it's instances like that, let students know that not only that they matter, but certain things are obtainable. Seeing Anthony make these transitions and seeing myself and my peers be able to make this transition in higher education and successfully navigate through higher education as well. And so currently I'm a PhD student at WashU in the molecular cell biology program at the med school. But a lot of my interest, lies in higher education and higher administration. A lot of the people I see with PhDs, even within STEM, hold administrative positions. And so with that, that guides a lot of, my interest because this is how I see people utilizing their advanced degrees. And so, it's things like this, that really can change the landscape of minority participation or within STEM. So I think the McNair Scholars Program is doing wonderful things, and I can only imagine, couldn't imagine where I'd be without them and their investment in the St. Louis region. So with that, thank you, Anthony, and the McNair Scholars Program.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Wesley, for being such a great McNair scholar and great ambassador, and continuing on the work that you're doing now at WashU. And, not only all of your accomplishments, but, the willingness to continue to pay it forward is always great and appreciative. So thanks so much for that. Now we're going to transition to Q&A. I'm opening it up for any Q&A that you all may have.
Anthony, we already have a question coming through earlier. Is this scholarship available to Indian American students?
Indian American. No. Well, so the McNair Scholars Program, it is not like a scholarship program, but it's open to any student that's first gen, both first gen and low socioeconomic or underrepresented in higher education. And as far as the race/ethnicity, it has to match one of the races or ethnicity that the Department of Ed classifies as underrepresented in graduate education. But no, yeah, we have many scholars from all backgrounds as far as race and ethnicity, as long as they, fit within the first gen socioeconomic realm, then they will for sure be eligible for the program. Any other questions in regards to anything?
Anthony, I was just wondering, is there like room for expansion for this program, or are you looking for more partners? What's the future look like for it?
That's a good question. As far as expansion in regards to partner institutions, I feel like with the 5 that we have, that's good. We want to for sure continue to develop those relationships. But no, yeah, our program has been expanding each year. I'm going to share next. I have a QR code that you all can use to pull up our comprehensive highlight booklet that really kind of highlights our program's initiatives and successes over the past 4 years. So it goes a little bit more in depth than what I did in this presentation, given the time. But we have a lot of other different programs even within our program. So we have, to just give you a few quick examples, we have an ambassadors program. So ambassadors are our student leaders that really assist us with recruiting other McNair scholars at their home institutions. So they are working and connecting with offices on their campuses that work with first-gen socioeconomic students other different student groups that really fit the demographic population that we're trying to reach. Those students also too mentor students in our Gateway program. So as far as outreach and services, our Gateway program is like our pre-McNair program. So for those students that don't necessarily know if they want to go to graduate school immediately, they're still trying to figure it out. We have a pre-McNair program that they can go through where they can learn more about McNair, learn more about graduate school, and really see if this is something that they want to do. And another beneficial program that we have that Wesley's a part of too as well is our alumni engagement program. So now that we have a good amount of alum out there at different graduate institutions, we have our alum come back and are part of like panel discussions that talk about like not only their experience in McNair, but also to their transition from undergrad to graduate school. So we have them kind of come back and talk like fireside chats and things like that. But also too, we match our alum with our seniors that's going through the graduate school application process right now to be support for them too as well, because they're only one step, ahead of our current scholars. They are a real big benefit to our students from a peer-to-peer kind of perspective. So those are some of our other programs that you will see in the booklet if you were to pull up on the QR code that I'll show in a second. But no, yeah, there's a lot more too that we're doing within the program as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony. Any more questions? We still have a minute or two.
Let me pull up the QR code if you all want to scan that while we still have some time. It'll take you directly to a copy of the PDF version of our highlights booklet that really kind of goes, like I said, really, really in depth about our program and what we've been up to these past 4 years.
We'll also put a link on this on the landing website as well.
Yeah.
Right. That needs to.
Any questions before we close, or no questions?
All right. I don't see anything come through the chat. I think very comprehensive, so I don't have too many questions. All right. So I just want to say thanks again to Dr. Parker-Gills and the audience. It's just about 11 o'clock. There's 10 minutes until the final plenary, so feel free to grab a refill snack. Definitely come by. Oh, sorry, it's not a plenary, it's a keynote speaker. So it's going to be an impactful speech, so I hope to see you all there. Thanks again for joining. Thanks again, Dr. Parker-Gills.
I thank you all for joining too. Appreciate it.